Members, it's question time. Are there any questions? The Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And before I ask my question, I'd also like to extend my congratulations to the member for Rockingham. It's a rather auspicious occasion, I think, to have a baby here in the chamber for the first time. So congratulations, member, and we look forward to many more sessions with your baby in the chamber with you. Member Speaker, my question is to the Premier. Premier, I refer to your government's undersubscribed firearm buyback scheme, which ended on the 31st of August, extending only 18% of the allocated funds, and to yesterday's media stunt, releasing a video of some of these firearms being blown up, apparently for publicity purposes. Premier, in August I wrote to your Minister for Police requesting the buyback be extended until the new regulations are in place, giving people greater certainty as to whether they will have to surrender their firearms. Your Minister failed to respond. So I ask you, Premier, will you extend the buyback period for an additional 6 months?
The Premier.
Madam Speaker, thank you. I thank the member for the question and also join everyone else in welcoming the member for Rockingham back with baby Bowie. Madam Speaker, I think in that by-election which saw Magenta Marshall elected as the member for Rockingham, the Liberals got one thing right. They'll say she's a young woman, she might just go away and have a baby. And I want to welcome Bowie into the chamber. Madam Speaker, as the member observes, the gun buyback period has concluded now, with many tens of thousands of guns handed in. The biggest gun buyback scheme since the Port Arthur massacre under the national scheme by the Liberal Prime Minister John Howard. John Howard had it right. He understood that by eliminating the number of guns in the community, you eliminate you put downward pressure, you reduce the chance of those guns getting into the hands of others, making sure that those who are intent on criminal behaviour don't have easy access to guns, be they licensed or unlicensed. So it's very pleasing to see how successful that gun buyback was, Madam Speaker. As I said, a record for Western Australia. Now, is it the member opposite makes the observation, Madam Speaker, that it was for that the guns were some of the guns were blown up as part of a publicity stunt. That's not the case. My understanding is it is a normal procedure that they do. Obviously, we don't publicise the place where these guns are sometimes blown up because obviously that's a police operational matter. So I won't comment any further than that. But it wasn't for the benefit of the media. It was for the benefit of the people of Western Australia, to keep them safe, which goes in part and in partnership with our new firearms reforms, which are the most extensive reforms of our firearm laws in this country on record. Now, the members will be very pleased to see that there is an amnesty which is ongoing in relation to firearms. So anyone can take a firearm, whether it's licensed or unlicensed, and surrender it to the police, which is an important opportunity to make sure that there's further opportunities to get unnecessary firearms out of the system. But, Madam Speaker, the actual buyback scheme has now concluded. It was massive. I think somewhere well over 60,000, many tens of thousands of firearms that were surrendered. Some automatic rifles, some handguns. I don't know why you would need a handgun, but also pleasingly, Madam Speaker, 50% of those were within the metropolitan area, which is obviously an incredibly welcome development. Now, Madam Speaker, under our firearm laws, legitimate firearm owners, particularly farmers, competitive shooters and so on, are well catered for under this legislation. So it is not denying people of the ability to own guns, particularly those who use them in the course of their work. But it is about getting unnecessary firearms off the streets and out of the community as much as possible.
Supplementary question.
Premier, if the explosion was not a media stunt, why was it released directly from your minister's office to the media?
The Premier.
Madam Speaker, I find it a bit rich that the Leader of the Opposition would come into this place seeking to extend or go further in relation to any gun measures brought in by the government or this parliament. Madam Speaker, the National Party completely oppose the firearm reforms, which is about keeping the community safe. So why the member should take umbrage with any of these measures is completely beyond me, because he basically dealt the National Party out of community safety. Doesn't care about community safety. He and his party turned their back on Western Australians and Western Australians that want to keep the community safe. So why, Madam Speaker, he's coming in with these concerns at this point in time is completely beyond me, because he's already suggested by his party's actions that he just does not care about community safety. He's not alone, Madam Speaker. He's not alone, because we know the Liberal Party also opposed these laws. But whereas the National Party at least had the guts to get up and say they opposed it, the Liberal Party just slinked out of the chamber when the vote was to be taken. Nowhere to be seen, completely silent on the issue of community safety. And I noticed, Madam Speaker, that those opposite have waded into the media lately about law and order, about community safety, but when it comes to actually putting their actions where their mouths are, when it comes to actually walking the walk, not simply talking the talk, they are missing in action. The Liberal Party, literally, and the National Party have deliberately turned their back on community safety in Western Australia.